is here.
Hey, Catherine.
Hi, Herb.
Mo Doobie.
Oh, Doobie. So we have three. Is there any other planning board members here? Is Bob on one?
We have 4 with Catherine.
Okay, that's fine. Then let's go ahead and we can get started. Okay. Call the meeting to order. I guess 6:04. We have attendance, we have a quorum. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda tonight that I know of? I don't think so. Any public comment? Items not on the agenda. Anybody else? And that brings us to the review of the approval of the prior meeting minutes. Anybody have any questions about the previous meeting minutes from last month?
I think it was Bob Nordstrom who nominated you for chair.
Right. I don't have the meeting minutes. I couldn't get them on, get the link to work, so I haven't read them, but if there's no objection, do we have a motion to accept the meeting minutes from last month?
With the one correction that Catherine proposed, I think that's the only one that I saw.
Okay, very good. Do we have a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
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 Hello.
Okay.
Hi,
Hi,
Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Sorry for the delay. I couldn't find the link.
I know the feeling.
Missing link, so to speak.
Okay, we just voted on the prior meeting minutes, Bob. We had no public comment and we have no adjustments to the agenda. So that last month's meeting minutes were approved, accepted by the board with a correction of the nomination of Herb Curtis by Bob Nordstrom. I guess that brings us to new business. We would need to review the Hendricks application for their wedding venue. And I guess the main thing to do tonight, we have a checklist. Did everybody receive that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, basically what we've been doing, how this works is we go through each item. You can comment. Then the way it's set up here, we can eventually change this. I think we should vote, make one vote, but we have to vote on each item as 1, 2, 3, 4, so forth. Okay, does everybody understand that that's how we'll be proceeding?
Yes.
Okay. So this application is for James and I'm sorry, the Hendricks anyway. And this is an R1 zone or R2 zone? This project,
Yeah, I think it's R2 we decided last time.
R2, okay. I just want to make some notes here. The site determination entrance review permit, has that been received from the DOT?
Yeah, you should have had that in the information I sent you guys.
Okay. Yes. And DEP site review, I don't know if that's required for this project. I don't believe, I'd have to ask Mo to confirm that.
I had a question about that.
Yeah,
I don't know if we actually got all of the information, but it wasn't clear what the exact location of the building related to the 250-foot shoreline zone was, or if there's any site work proposed within the 250. I think that's just a
it's behind
question.
250, James, you could answer that. This is behind the 250 feet from high water mark.
We don't plan to build within the shoreline zone. We're building 250 feet back from the high water mark.
Okay.
Yeah, but in terms of, are you excavating anything? Are you moving earth, doing any activities like that within the 250?
There is no
Okay.
plan to basically disturb the area at all. At most, we will have a movable, like wedding arch that we may occasionally use to not going to be permanent.
No problem.
We may build a fire pit, but that won't be any unearthing anything. So we're not planning any excavation work in that area.
Go ahead, Catherine.
I do have a question before we go with this whole review. Has this meeting be made public? Like, have you contacted the neighbors expressively so that they could participate and have questions answered if they have any?
Are you asking us that question?
Yes, I mean, like,
Oh.
all
I
the
think it's the town's responsibility to post it in the website and to really actually notify the neighbors, not the
well,
the
so
applicant.
has the town fulfilled that responsibility?
I don't know if they had posted it on, I'd have to ask this code enforcement officer if that was,
It was
Mo.
posted online under our agenda. So it's been posted for well-due notice of the statute.
And is that sufficient to be posted online? Shouldn't it be posted in a newspaper or even sent a letter directly to the immediate neighbors?
Posting it to the public website and having it posted outside the town office is adequate, which is what was done.
All right.
Thank you.
okay.
I did notify some of the
Just
neighbors.
to expound on that for a second, I don't think that for a special or for an exception that we're being requested that a public hearing is required unless one's requested. Is that true, Irv?
Yes, I was not planning on doing a public hearing for this project.
I just think, I mean, I don't
Because
want
it doesn't-
problems or
Okay.
issue. I'm just thinking that it's good procedure, you know, if you want to start to have good neighborly relations. So if you're convinced you
Well,
have,
let me, just to give you a little background, we did the Wilson project on Elm Street. That was that was done by the board. That, for his is, I don't know, landscaping business, I guess you'd call it. And also there was right near there's a woman, can't remember her name, a few years back, we did her gift shop next to Hoggy's
yeah.
filling
mhm.
station there. There's a little gift shop there. That was done in the same manner as this.
Okay, perfect.
So there's been a couple precedents already that the board reviews it. It's allowed in the zone. You know, there's no restriction that way as well. It's an allowable project. Yeah. The main thing is the concerns will be for noise, dust, intrusive stuff to the neighbors that way. Okay.
Okay.
So I think that we posted it. We've had it's been online. It's been posted in the town office. So, and Jim, would you like to comment on any of the neighbors that I'm sure you spoke to some, the relatives of yours?
I just spoke to the neighbors that I know, and there's
Mhm.
some of them are family, so that was it. So
Okay.
beyond that, I don't know all.
I haven't heard any opposition. Nobody's called me for anything about it that way. Okay.
The neighbors are actually pretty far away from where the barn will be. Most of the neighbors are up by the road. It's pretty far from the
It's
project.
more than 500 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 1,500 feet to the nearest neighbor.
Quite a long ways, right?
That's a good distance, yeah.
Can move on to the impact, I guess, this, did I miss one here? Did we do the DEP site review? I don't think that's required for this project that I know of.
I've spoken with both the site evaluator, Doug, and the excavation guy, and both of them have told me that the amount of disturbance in the area that is wet, which is a very small area, would probably be under the exception. So not having to get a DEP permit, but that's what they've told me.
All right. But none of that land is designated as wetlands down there on our town maps.
There's no
That's
designated, no.
We
The only
respond to
reason it gets wet is when it rains and it settles in a certain
that, like
spot.
everywhere.
Off from the uphill area, and then it eventually goes away. That's the only reason why it's wet.
Okay,
And it's not anywhere near the ocean.
all righty. Is there any other concerns is the next question for this project? For this special condition use. I don't have any at this point.
No.
Okay.
My point of view, they're outside of the 250 feet from high tide. Clearly a shoreland zone. There's no other shoreland. I did check the map. There's no other shoreland implicating like zone a lot. I can't speak to wetlands and anything, but zoning wise, no others.
Yeah, we're required to go by the town map, so that would be the one of the maps that we currently have. And I think they were kind of updated last year or the year before. So if it's not in there, it's not there. As far as the planning board, the responsibility. Okay, the planning board is given jurisdiction to review the application under the land use ordinance. That's what we're doing here. The proposed use is a wedding venue.
Yep.
And I'm just reading this, make sure I get it right. Okay, so it is authorized use within, it may be conditioned by the planning board based on the above findings. The planning board maintains jurisdiction review of the application within, now I don't know, Jeff wrote this, so I think I think that within, is that within the property lines or is that within a annual review? Or could have.
I think that's the district.
The district. Oh, the R1, R2, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, R2, let me put R2 there. I just want to make notes as I go through this. Okay, if you would like, we can vote on this section here and then proceed, or we can work down through the whole thing and then come back and vote on 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there, the procedure doesn't really matter to me which way we do it. So I think
I might as well vote on them as we go when they're
that's what
fresh
I'm
in,
thinking.
fresh
Okay,
in the
that's fine.
mind.
All right. So as to paragraph 1, questions. Do we have a, I guess, second on this vote? Or I'll propose that we vote on question 1 as we discussed right now. So is there any second on that? Need a second?
Sure, second.
Okay, any more discussion? No further discussion. Okay. I guess I'll start with Gabe. You can sound off. Yay or nay?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Kathleen?
Hi.
Okay. Ryan?
Aye.
Bob?
I as well.
Okay, and I'm aye, so that's unanimous. 5, 4, 0 opposed. Okay, let's go to findings of the applicant deed. You have a, do we need to, what is the map and lot of this lot?
This is lots 4-5 and 4-4 on map 16.
Map 16, 4 and 5. And this is the Hendricks. And who is the owner is you, James?
Technically, yes, only me at the moment.
Only you at the moment.
But the deeds are currently at Jimmy Brennan's office and are going to be transferred within this week to both my
So
office.
James, can we talk about that? Because it was an LLC
Yeah.
that owned it. And
So-
to have standing to make this application, you'd either have to, I mean, if we're going to be appropriate, legally appropriate, you would have to make the application on behalf of the LLC, or you need to transfer it to yourself or any other number of owners. So
So-
is that going to happen? Is that what you're telling us?
Yeah,
So he's the current, it's happened, or you're the current owner now, or it's gonna be under an LLC
so
shortly?
Well,
the land
So
will be
that-
under my wife and I's name.
Okay, right now.
It is currently sitting at the lawyer's office waiting to be transferred into our names officially. So from the LLC that it was in.
Okay.
The
What's the
LLC,
name of your LLC?
Hendricks Property,
Okay.
and I'm the only member and president of the LLC.
Okay. Let's do it under the LLC, Hendricks Property LLC.
Okay.
Is that fine with everyone?
That is the appropriate way for us to consider the application today, if that's the deeded owner.
That's right. Okay. Okay, so this would be, the applicant will be Hendricks Property LLC. And this will be for the land in South Thomaston, map 16, lots 4 and 5. Based on the applicant, it says establish a right, title, interest, parcel, subject, applicant, therefore standing to make this application. Okay, I need a motion to vote on this from someone.
So moved.
Okay, second.
Second,
Second.
Okay, that was Kathleen.
Catherine. With an R.
Catherine. Oh, sorry. All right. Any discussion on that? Any more discussion?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor? I'll start with Catherine.
Yeah, hi.
Aye. Aye. Gabriel,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
and Irvin is going to say aye, so that's 5-0, unopposed. Okay. Okay, this property is within the district R2. And you're requesting to establish a wedding venue,
Yes.
construct, I guess. Okay, now, what would you like for proposed? How is your operations hours, I guess we say, that been here too? There's those operations defined, use.
Oh, the use of the property? It
Yes.
will,
Proposed cooperation is defined as, I guess, a wedding venue again,
I
right?
think it's a commercial. I think that the question is what is it? What line are we looking at on the table of uses?
Okay,
So I think we're looking at
Commercial use.
commercial use.
commercial, okay. Commercial, thank you very much.
No problem.
Agree with that. This is a commercial use.
Okay. Which is permitted by the planning board, a special exemption based on the above finds, proposal is permitted, used in, and property within the district, I guess.
That is true.
True, okay. I'm just looking at those white spaces. Is there anything we should add to those district? I guess the district would be R2. This is the first time I've used this app. This is a little cumbersome, but I think we can get through it. Okay,
And
I need a motion to accept number 3.
Somebody
move-
else this time.
yeah, I move that the application for proposed commercial use is allowed per special exemption by the planning board in the proposed district R2.
Thank you. Any second on that?
Second.
Okay. All right, so now, Any further discussion on this? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Catherine,
Aye.
Gabe,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
and Ryan,
Aye.
and Irvin's aye, so that's 5-0, none opposed. Okay, moving on to number 4. Okay, findings compliance with dimensions requirements section. We have that. Requires at least
Requirement is just 1 acre,
1 acre, yeah.
and it also requires a maximum height of 50 feet for a building,
Okay,
which I assume you guys are going to be under.
Yeah.
that's the 42 feet, right?
Yes, the height is 50 feet for commercial, I think. Let me check.
Okay. That might-
Yeah, 50 feet is the maximum. And then there's
Okay.
corner clearance, but we're nowhere near that.
Okay,
26.
so land use ordinance findings number 4. Need a motion to accept that?
The motion to accept land use.
Okay, we need a second.
Second.
Okay, Gabe, thank you. Any further discussion?
So Gabe, you just looked at the ordinance. The only dimensional requirements are height and
Yeah, so there's
corner clear.
right there, there's a minimum for non-residential uses of 1 acre per use. So that's the minimum lot size. There's a height limit of 50 feet and there's a corner clearance of 40 feet. And those are the only requirements in the dimensional table in the ordinance. That is correct.
So,
So no property line or front setbacks, correct?
not
There
in
are no
South London.
no setbacks anywhere.
Okay, I'm just making sure I'm,
The state setback, just for your information, is 6 feet. Which some house lots in South Thompson apply, but some have not over the years. I have one more question for James. The property, the total acreage is how much?
7.84 acres.
7.48. Okay. I have no other questions.
James, can
Discussion?
I ask you what is the setback from your neighbors, I guess, to the north and south, the narrow dimension of your property from the
So-
building?
So if you go north and south, it'll be about 1,200 feet it's going to be about 1,200 feet from the road. So the one neighbor is our property, and the other neighbor, it would be about the same distance. Their houses are built in the same area. The size of each lot from each side we'll have about 75 feet of setback.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. All in favor? Let me see. Catherine,
Aye.
Gabriel,
Aye.
Bob,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
and Irvin. It's going to say aye, so that's 5-0, none opposed. Okay.
I want to ask one quick question.
Sure.
Was I the only one that didn't get a site plan, project map, plot plan with this application, or did nobody get it?
I came with, let me see if I can dig it out. It was in, well, we know where I got it from. I got it from the South Thompson land use. It's in there.
Oh, I meant the specific site plan for this project.
Yeah,
We got the drawing. Go ahead, Gene.
we sent it a couple times, and we sent an update during last week.
Let me see if I have one here.
It looks like this. Very
Yeah.
amateur.
I don't think that it came through to me. Let me double check.
I
Okay.
didn't see anything like that either.
I'd be happy to send it again.
Let me pull open the email right now and I'll try to forward it. Who else didn't get it?
I have it.
I also
You-
haven't seen it.
I have it, if you can see it there. It's not color, but it's there.
I mean, I got a bunch of attachments, but that specific, one was not in there.
I just think that it'll be easier for us to ask appropriate questions if we're
Sure.
looking at it.
Yep, bear with me 1 second and I'm gonna try to find it in my email and then I'll
Thanks,
send
Mo.
it again. No worries.
I did receive it.
I received one some weeks ago before our last meeting that looked like that, but I didn't receive any update if there was an update.
No, there was.
You're going to be
I just
using.
found it. I'm gonna send it right now.
All right. Thank you, Mo. The one I'm showing here has a 80 by 40 barn, 75 feet to each sideline. I guess on either side, 250 feet to the water, and then there's looks like you subtract the 250, the whole lot looks like it's 1,485 feet,
Yeah, it's almost 1,500 feet.
almost 1,500.
Yeah.
So looks like plain space.
Catherine, what does your email start with? Because I'm doing it from my phone, so I have to hand type it and then it pops up.
It's CLB.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just sent it out. You guys should have it.
All
Yeah.
right.
This game. Thank you.
I'll give you guys a chance to review that and then let me know if you.
Right. It looks nice.
This is very helpful to have this. Thank you for sending it.
You're welcome.
Is there any more discussion on number 4? If everybody had a chance to look at those boundaries and the distances?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't have anything else.
All right. Okay. Is there any other discussion? If not, we can, we voted on this. We already voted on that one. So that passed 5 to 0. Okay. Next one is number 5, and it's kind of has to do with the, that's number C. The lighting shall be shielded, to prevent the direct glare adjoining residential properties and public right of way. I think this, oh, excuse me, let me get the first one. Well, it's not a campgrounds, right? There's no camping gonna be there. Let me do that one first. Number 5B, sorry. So that's NA.
Right, it's not going to be a
Right.
camp. No.
It'll be a campground. Your lighting will be shielded. I saw some lights you proposed, they look downward facing lights. They look
Absolutely.
good to me. How many of those do you plan to put up, do you think? What would you like to get permitted for?
So if
You
you,
have to put them all up.
so we did outline in the I did propose
We're on the
information.
wrong page here.
So with the barn lighting, we're gonna do lights installed at each entrance for safety. And again, some of these lights will be timer enabled, so they can be shut off.
Okay,
It won't be on all the time. Like, we don't plan to have lights on there on all the time.
but nobody's there, just for security, whatever you may need.
For a little bit.
So about what I'm saying is, what I'm kind of looking for is, are you gonna have like, you're saying 2 lights? Are you gonna have maybe need more than that in like in a parking area or something?
So in the parking area, I went by that Illuminating Engineering Society standards.
Yep.
Use their calculator to figure out what height we needed the poles to be, and if we proposed height, we would use how many lights. And what they came up with is that we're going to do 6 light poles. And if you look at the drawing, the poles are marked, like a little black line is where we're going to propose poles. The Illuminating Society proposed we could have them 65 feet apart, and to make it a little bit more symmetrical, I put them about 50 feet apart.
Okay,
So one at each end, the entrance of the parking, one at the other end of the parking, and we'll have 2 more on either side, which will be within 50 feet of each other.
okay, so we're looking at 6 at, what's the height gonna be of the actual pole?
10-foot pole,
Pardon me?
10 feet.
10 feet, okay.
And then for the walkway, we propose just some illuminating ground lighting just for walking at night, but that won't be on all the time.
Okay, we're mainly concerned about higher lights that, you know, could
We like ground lights.
reflect on people's land.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, the parking lights will only be on when it's in use, when people need to use the parking. They won't be.
Right, understand.
Yeah.
Industrial use is no outdoor storage materials, products, vehicles, so that's NA, no industrial use down there.
No, we don't plan to store anything outside, so.
Okay, I'm just going through the off-street parking, sufficient space determined by the planning board to limit on-street parking, and you wanted parking for how many cars there?
So again, I went by, again, it was a parking calculator from an engineering, kind of website. And
Right.
size of 130 by 150 would be adequate enough parking for 65 vehicles.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let me go down one more. It's not outpatient addiction center, so that's NA. And like to have a little discussion from those questions from the planning board members. Any input on those numbers? If they have any?
I think I'm curious about the length of time and the frequency with which those parking lot lights will be on. I'm sure that's ample lighting to make a safe parking area, but that many lights is going to be very bright. It's going to be quite visible from the road. I'm just curious what the operational plan is for those lights and when they'll be used and when they won't be used.
Leave that to James.
Yeah, depending on the time of year and if the event is happening in the evening, the lights will only be on for the event itself. So I would say a maximum of 4 hours of nighttime use. An event may happen once a week, but it may not always happen at night. So if there is a nighttime wedding or event there happening at night, they'll be turned on for 4 to 6 maybe hours. Our quiet time is 10, so that pretty much will end most events by 10 o'clock. And then they'll be turned off once the last guest has exited. So
Okay.
I feel like it'll be pretty minimal use. Most events happen on weekends.
If you think about the summer months, they may only be on an hour, because
Right.
getting dark after 9 o'clock, so there may only be a time when needed. I never.
Good, yeah. No, I think that's just thinking about the night sky in that area and the general ambiance. I'm glad you've thought of ways to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we don't want to ruin the natural beauty of the area by having a lot of light pollution. So
I think the lights would be shining down. Usually they're kind of more of a amber type light. Some of these lights, I don't know what kind of luminance they have, but
Yeah, we're gonna try and use the most minimum, candle power illuminate, and obviously soft lights, not daylight bright bulbs.
That's right, soft lights.
The idea is they're meant to be just for illuminating security and not necessarily, because you got to figure once someone's in their vehicle, they're going to be able to see adequately with their headlights. So
Correct.
more for, parking lot security and safety, but not necessarily complete illumination.
Okay. So we're looking at 6 poles, 10 feet high. If you don't have to put them all in, you can do 3, But
And we may, I just went by what the standard, but if that's more than adequate light, we could always go with just the 4 or just one by the entrance and another one. So.
right. Any further discussion on this number 5? B, C, D, E, F. Okay, need a motion to accept number 5? B, C, D, E, and F.
A motion to accept number
Okay.
5.
Second.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Okay. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. Catherine?
Aye.
Gabriel?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
Bob?
I think Bob is gone.
I think we lost Bob.
Okay. I'm gonna say aye. So I'll just say 4-0 on that one for now. Bob comes back, we can amend that. Okay, let's move on to number 6. Okay, you're not requiring any changes in the zoning area?
No.
We're not recommending any changes? Does not bring any changes permitted to the district?
I also don't, I think that the question is asking whether the comprehensive plan proposes any changes to the district zoning or permitted uses, and the ordinance review committee recently looked at that, and there's no change proposed in this district or this location. So
Okay,
we're clear
very
on
good.
that.
Yeah, I mean, just discuss this for a second. I mean, I believe the comprehensive plan does address that sort of pastoral view and that area. I'm frankly don't see a conflicting use here with the design and what they've done to try to preserve the area.
Okay, very good. Any other comments or questions, concerns? Okay. So it does conform with the usage. And so we need to specify any additional conditions? I don't believe we do. But I'll leave any more discussion on that paragraph.
It doesn't
No.
seem to me like any additional conditions are necessary to conform with the comprehensive plan.
Okay, so I'm going to mark that no. And press a motion to vote on number 6. As question.
So moved.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Second,
Okay, who was the
Ryan
Sure.
made the motion. and
Ryan? Okay. Okay. Call for a vote. Check, is Bob there? No. Catherine?
Aye.
Gabe?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
And myself, I'll be aye. So I'll call it 4-0. No one opposed. Okay, move on to number 7. It's quite a lengthy one here. It's got several sections, but anyway. Just reading it real quickly, sorry. Okay, that one there, it says, finding special exemption, conditional use, additional conditions, planning board may or may may, in order to carry out the purpose of special exempt procedure, require additional conditions, specification, criteria, standards necessary to protect the public interest and fit such harmonious and compatibly into the neighborhood and locations. Such conditions may include, but are not limited to. And that's, and then say, increase of setbacks for use of the main state requires setback property lines, setback from the RT, I guess that's
Road.
the road and the bodies of water. Yes, no, and then, and yes, any conditional requirement to comply with the state main setbacks, provide additional setbacks of any dwelling existing at the time of permitting totaling so many feet. Relevant boundaries will be clearly marked and licensed by a licensed surveyor. Okay. I guess we'll break this up just a little bit. Do we need any additional setbacks from the property lines? We have 75 feet as the shortest setback. The town of South Thomas has none. The state has 6 feet. So that meets the normal setback. So I don't, and then from the setback from the road is roughly about, if it's back 250 feet, it's probably about roughly 1,250 feet from the road. And from bodies of water, it's behind the 250-foot mark. So
I
my
think,
answer, go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say, depending on how close the building is going to be to that 250, you might need to get the 250-foot line marked, surveyed.
Okay.
I mean, that would be my condition, that we actually have some assurance that they are in fact 250 feet back.
Okay.
I measured my 250 from not the high water mark, from the end of the field,
Top of the banking.
top of the bank, just to be safe.
Okay. Mo, could that be something you could verify for the board? If to see
Yes,
that
I
that's
can-
met?
Once, and, confirm it.
I
It might
think
just
that's
make sense to
time of
stake
construction,
the,
you
stake
could
the
do
building
that.
location, and
There is
then
a,
confirm.
we did put a stake at the 250 mark from the, it's in the, sitting at the spot from the edge of the field. So,
As long as it's 250 feet back and it's maybe when you start construction, that the code officer could review that to make sure it's 250 feet.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
that's totally fine.
I think that would be adequate.
We do plan to have a survey done, but even though I contacted them 3 months ago, they can't come out until spring.
Right.
They're pretty busy.
Okay, so what I'll do is we'll mark that increased setback no. And,
Mark like CEO to verify shoreland setback
okay,
at time of construction, but other than that, I don't see any
Yeah.
issue.
And if your
Okay.
surveyor does come on site, you might as well just have him flag that 250.
That's the plan.
Great.
yeah,
When he shows up.
I know we just couldn't nail him down. I mean, he's a good dude, but he couldn't nail him down. on the date.
No, it's very difficult to get a contractor to commit to anything after about, I don't know, October.
One thing that you guys can rest assured about is that the ideal location of the barn happens after 250 feet from the water anyway, because it's a little bit of a higher spot. So for us to move it closer to the water, it wouldn't be to our advantage. So we definitely are keeping it 250 plus because it's such an ideal spot.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
very good.
We're happy to bring Mo down there at the time and make sure that's verified. That's no big deal.
Okay, that'd be fine with me. I think it. We have a nomination, but the vote on this.
We want to vote on like each part separately of 7.
Well, I think we better follow the form as it is tonight. Yeah, I think this is something we'll adjust
Okay, I
maybe
see.
for the
I'm
next one.
asking for a vote for each section. That's fine, Irv. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just following this because I think we need to kind of correct this so we have each section one vote, but Well, I won't do that tonight because of the, it's already set up this way.
That's fine. Thanks.
Okay. Do I have a,
So I move to accept
move
seven
vote, that's
A.
what I'm saying. Okay, Ryan?
I
moves.
move to accept 7A with only the, I guess with the condition that their CEO verifies shoreline setback.
Okay,
Second.
Gabe. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, Catherine,
Aye.
Gabriel,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Bob, you back?
Nope.
Okay, and Irvin's gonna say, yeah, in favor, so that's 4-0. Okay, the water supply and sewage impact on ground. So we have you said Doug Meservy's been there to do your, well, the water supply is gonna be a well, probably, right? On that property?
Yeah, that's in the document. It is a well,
Okay.
or will be, not a well yet.
Okay,
Um,
and,
Doug did my site evaluation and septic plan.
okay,
Close your video.
so yeah, and Mo, you're happy with Doug's site valuation of the property? The, Doug
Yes, he
Meservy?
met all the minimum design criteria for the state.
Okay,
I reviewed it too, Irv. I'm satisfied that they
okay,
the correct use and did the right calculations, and I was happy to see he used the extra large disposal field sizing considering the soils in that area. So I'm happy with it.
He also mentioned to me that even though it's large, that he thinks it's overbuilt. So, but
okay. Well, it's better, it lasts longer.
that's what he said. So he said he think we would be, for our uses, it would be well suited for what we're going to use it for.
Do I have a motion to accept 7B?
So moved.
So move Gabe. Thank you.
Second.
Catherine, second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, a call for a vote. Catherine?
Aye.
Gabe?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
And Herb's gonna say aye. Is Bob there? No? 4-0. Okay, move on to number C. Operations will not be visible from. That's NA. I guess there's no true, way to
hide it.
hide it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put NA. Any discussion on that?
I see you've got some screening trees along the property line, one of the property lines there along the driveway.
I'd like to, yes, to try and kind of just that where the barn's going to sit is basically next to a cluster of trees, forest.
Mhm.
But even though it does, we thought it would be nice to put just some shielding trees. We'd rather not build any sort of fence unless we're forced to, because we don't want to. We'd rather try to keep it looking naturally. So that would
Okay.
off the trees would help. So
Yeah, I mean, so James, and well, my only real concern from a screening point of view is garbage. As actually, it's not addressed on your plan.
oh,
I guess I would like to see, like, there's probably going to be a dumpster on site. I would like to see that be screened from the road.
yeah, of course, yeah. We don't want. I guess we hadn't really thought about that part.
No,
but
I do not want a dumpster on the property at all. So what will happen is we'll probably build something with a cover that matches the barn, so it blends in with the barn. Yeah, a dumpster would distract from the beauty down there totally. So no dumpsters.
Okay, garbage screen from the road.
Yeah.
And I don't care how they do it. Obviously, they got to handle garbage and sanitary factors and all that. Like, just garbage should be screened from the road.
yeah, most
Okay.
definitely. That one.
Screen.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Yes, of course.
I'm with you 100%. Yes.
Okay. All right, not requiring any fencing. Landscaping, you'll screen trees as you feel appropriate. If you like shrubs and other berms, we, as board, we're gonna try to require any landscaping other than, I guess, normal appearance. I'm sure you like it to look good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we put in the plan, we want to do some perennial garden shrubbery around the perimeter of the barn. Leave some,
Okay,
probably, maybe even some on the walkway, and then the screening as where she put the trees in alongside of the road in the barn.
okay, I'll mark the landscaping, yes, and well, I guess I'll take these. You got trees, shrubs, berms will be installed. I think we can almost go non-applicable on that for now, because you're gonna do,
Yeah.
you're gonna landscape the property to make it to suit.
Yeah.
Is that agreeable?
I mean, yeah, I think I understand what you guys are saying. I mean, the natural property there is essentially to have nothing but a hay field, right? Or a field. So
Yeah.
putting in a lot of landscaping sort of not counter to the natural state, I guess.
It'll mostly be grass and it will be mowed. That'll be the biggest.
That's why I marked landscaping, yes, because there's a little bit being done there.
Yeah.
You're not
Well, I have
planning
a
any
motion.
berms, right? No berms? Okay,
Definitely not.
all right.
Any other things, discussion on this? Okay, call for a motion for a vote then?
Thank you. Which one are we?
Catherine?
Yes,
7C.
7C, so,
Yes.
all right.
But I
let me-
want to clarify, are we putting, I don't think it's in there unless we say it, Irv. Are we going to put the condition of screening trash?
Yes, I
I
have
think
that
so,
down.
yeah.
here.
Okay,
Garbage
good.
screen from the road. I put
Yeah.
just roughly here, but
So,
yes, that would be a condition.
okay, so moved to that.
Okay, Ryan?
I move as said.
Whatever you guys say, I put down and then I can, and
So
second on that?
Clear for the Hendricks. That's the only condition on this section is garbage screening.
Yeah,
That's
Or-
correct.
And mowing, a little bit of mowing. I guess we
Yeah.
could add that too. Mowing is appropriate or whatever.
And I think that's, to me, that's up to them.
Yes.
Okay, don't forget that.
I think
All right.
the only- yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Any other, well, let me see, I need a second for that, and then
Second,
we'll continue. Okay, Catherine. Any further discussion?
no.
No. Okay. Catherine?
A,
Okay. Ryan?
Aye.
Gabe?
Aye.
I'll check for Bob one more time, but he's not up there. And I'm in favor, so it's 4-0. All right. Okay, just so you know, if you limit the scope of the application, increased scope will require a new permit specifically in, I guess, anything that we, I guess, list below here. Kind of increase in scope. So if we're going to go through these items here, the parking, the lighting, the staffing, and all that. So any changes that you need to make, you have to come back to the planning board.
Good thing.
Just make that clear. I think that's what that's all about. So put a yes there. So let's
Yeah.
go.
I just heard from Bob. He said that his system is not working. And he apologizes for the abrupt end to his participation.
Okay. Clientele and populations. Okay, how many people staffing would you like to have working?
So for staff, it really will be Jimmy and I. And if we hire someone to help us clean, I would say at the most, we would need 10 people for staff on the property. But
Okay,
where the venue is a rentable venue, most of the people tending to the wedding will be hired from the renters, and they'll be brought in for catering, for
okay, contractors and things like that. They contract labor, not, yeah. So this staffing, what I'm saying is how many people will be working there? We can leave that at 10.
Yes.
We start with that. Any discussion by the board on that number?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to bring one thing up. It's just the calculations on your septic document assume 4 employees. I understand that this is a little bit odd because you're not going to be occupying this property like a typical, it's not a store, it's not a restaurant. So it's not like 4 employees are there,
Right.
8 hours a day or whatever every day. I just want to make sure that we all feel that that's still a suitable.
What is the total occupancy though?
Because I understand it might be 4 full-time employees, but you're not going to have 10 full-time employees there day in and day out, like on a.
Probably.
You might have somebody they may have to hire somebody to mow. They may have to have somebody do maintenance work there, things like that, cleaning, like she says.
I don't think.
You don't have to have 10, but that would be proposed. If you wanted to have more than 10, you'd have to come back and see the board.
Yeah. And here's the thing, I don't think we'll have more than, 2 to 4 on property at once.
Okay,
Kind of over, with that 10 number, we just kind of overstaffed just in case we needed more employees in the future.
understand.
But ideally, it's going to be a
Well, if you're setting up or something, somebody needs to set up tables or things or whatever they do, I don't know about this. I'm just looking for a number.
Yeah, let's just say, we're going to say the 10, just in case we ever need it, please.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the hours of operation is the other key piece of this section.
Okay, so we'll say security, that's gonna be I guess, you maintain that and your lighting and so forth.
Yes.
Okay,
So I would like to have the barn available every single day of the year. I don't plan on closing for holidays unless that is a requirement for where we're building.
okay,
I don't personally see that as a problem. I would just want to know what the limits on hours of operation. 365 is not a problem. I'm not going to discriminate against days. I don't think any of our ordinance.
okay, so we'll say, why don't we say, this is Monday through Friday, you could say Monday through Sunday or Sunday through Saturday or something like that
Right.
on the application.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I use Sunday through Saturday.
And you had
That's-
mentioned 10 p.m. as your general cutoff for the end of events.
Right. And that will be a strict quiet time for sure.
But there is an overnight function as well, in case some people might stay there like the night before or something. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
I remember, right?
There's accommodations for the wedding party. So if a wedding party comes in for the weekend, they will be spending the night. However, events will have a beginning and an end, and we'll have a pretty strict quiet time policy of 10 o'clock. So say a wedding starts at 5, I'd be surprised if it goes all the way till 10, but sometimes they do. So as far as business hours, I'd hate, probably if the start of the day would be at sunup, I'm sure. Some people get up early. They'll be doing the preparations themselves for the wedding and the decorating and the setting up of the chairs and the tables, because that'll all be on site. And then, so it'll be a pretty quiet time preparing for the wedding. And then the wedding itself would be the only noise-making time, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess, are you asking for a start time and a finish time? Or just a finish time?
I think,
Or
I
10
mean,
p.m.?
don't get me, I think from my perspective, the only thing that we're really concerned about is the ending time. Is that right?
Right.
Well,
we'll
I,
say 10
I
p.m.
think that they are neighbors, and the starting time, of 6 a.m., especially on a holiday, might be a problem. So, it can be 8 a.m. on a weekday, but on a holiday, I don't know what would be reasonable for people.
We could definitely put limits on noise. So, no music at the barn until, 8 a.m. every day of the week. I'm sure that would be fine.
Yes.
I don't think events would be starting that early unless someone rented it for like a corporate event or maybe something like that. That could start early, but
I mean, if someone's on property that early, they would only be there preparing for the event. It wouldn't be like the event itself, correct?
right.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
you're not preventing from doing things at any time of the day. The question is the noise. So, so I don't know. I would feel comfortable 8 a.m. until 10 p.m., quiet time outside that window.
I would feel very comfortable with that as well if that's what they're asking for.
If that's what you guys like, I mean, that's fine with us. I mean, really, mostly it's going to be the ending time anyway that we were proposing the quiet time of 10 o'clock. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
events,
So hours of operation to be from the event probably, but if you're down there and you need to pretty far away, you probably wouldn't be playing music, but if you had some other noise, I don't know what it'd be, but so we'll say 8 to 10 p.m. Is that workable?
Yes.
8 a.m. to 10 p.m. is fine with me.
Okay. Any other comments from board members on that time frame?
Nope.
Okay, I just want to go over the holidays. We're eliminating the holidays. So that'll be NA. As far as we're not going to restrict them to whole Christmas Day or Thanksgiving or Veterans Day or like Monday holidays.
No, that's fine.
Okay. The parking we discussed, and we're going to limit that to 65 cars.
yes.
Any discussion about that?
Nope.
Okay.
Well,
Go ahead.
so I was just gonna say, Gabe, you're a architect. Probably think about these things. Is 65 cars appropriate for 200-person event?
I mean, it's a little. It's actually. I mean, there's no hard and fast rule. It's maybe a little low, but in general, those are town by town requirements. There's nothing in the sort of generally accepted national or state codes that specify that, other than ADA, which you'll have to have a certain number of accessible parking spots to follow the law on that. But
I thought it was 85 cars.
Yep.
That's fine.
I mean, you're not gonna want your guests to be walking down a 1,000-foot lane to get there. I understand that. So as long as you think it's adequate, I mean, I'm fine with it. It seemed a little low to me, but it's up to you guys.
It's kind of what we based it upon. I mean, one of our ideas, I mean, obviously, not all the stuff will happen at once, was to also provide at some point a shuttle service, because obviously some people are going to want to either be staying locally and not drive, and obviously to discourage drinking and driving from our venue and things like that. Not going to happen right away, but if we do well, obviously it's going to be a service we'd add. So we kind of factored that in. But if you would propose more, then let me know now and we can change the size of that lot. He's thinking about it.
So yeah, is there a way we could modify that this evening and still have it be okay?
Time to do it is now. If you want to modify it, if you've got a number in mind.
Yes.
Because other than that, we come back, we review the whole application.
Oh, okay. Yes. So 85 cars would be probably more suitable.
Okay. So I think if we extended the width of that by, so you figure another 16 to 20 feet, that probably would be adequate.
So then it would be
So if we said,
130 by
I mean, 150 by 150.
150 by 150.
I mean,
Yeah.
what would happen if you leave it at 65 cars? You know, you make the announcement that there are only so many spots available, and then you encourage people to carpool from wherever they are coming. I mean, you can't, you know, people would not park on the road.
No, we don't want any parking on the road, not especially on 131, most definitely not.
And if you enlarge the parking, you're taking away from, again, the beauty of the site. I mean, you know, instead of having greenery, you're gonna have gravel. So,
The parking lot actually is gonna be green. We're gonna make it grass. It'll be, there'll be a gravel base, but we're gonna put topsoil over the top of it and make it look like actual part of the,
Yeah, no, I understood that from last time. I'm just trying to help avoid having to reconsider the permit application later.
and
Right.
I don't have a preference.
You don't have to make 85 spaces right now. You can make 25. You can make 65. This is just a permit. If you needed the space, you can make it to 85. That's all we're doing really here. Okay,
And we would like to try and do it for up to 85 cars.
Yes, please.
okay. Any further discussion on the 85 cars? Okay. Let's go to the lighting.
Assume that there's gonna be, we don't have the information in front of us, but all of that surface will be, you'll have the proper drainage.
Yes, of course, yeah.
You have a civil engineer,
That's
pretty, but there's, yeah, just
So
just a,
The person who came out to our site and discussed this with us detailed how to make that grass parking lot drivable, so that it's firm. There's specific materials that he would use for that to drain the water and keep it firm so that people can drive on it safely
great.
while we grow grass. Absolutely. And it's going to be actually pretty expensive to do that, but I think it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm okay with the 85. I think it's smart personally.
Thank you.
I understand what you're trying to do with the parking. I think I've seen it done before actually, but if I was thinking about a condition, I do really like the idea. Again, thinking 10 or 20 years from now, another owner or whatever developing this, I'd really like to see the parking continue to be permeable, like not an impermeable surface. So the parking's not going to be a big asphalt block out there in the middle of this pastoral setting ever.
I think that's a good idea as well.
So we would totally
So we'll
agree.
put that in there. 85 cars. You want a permeable grass?
Permeable surface, I think is the right terminology. Is that right?
Otherwise, I would want to see civil engineering to what Gabe's like, how are you going to deal with your runoff and erosion and dry wells and all the other things that would get into with that sort of surface area made into a parking lot, basically. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The easy thing is to say it's going to be a permeable surface, and then I'm not too worried about runoff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good condition.
Is that okay with you, the Hendricks?
Yeah,
Yes.
no, that sounds fine. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Okay.
I have no objection. We're ready to move on to the lighting. I think we kind of discussed the lighting already.
Mhm.
And I guess, there's a question here about motion detectors. And the lighting will be facing down, the glare, soft lighting. Were you going to install motion detectors down there, James, on some of that? I know you can turn them on and off, but as well.
We hadn't planned to, just because we didn't want them going on and off at when we're
Wrong
not.
time. Okay.
The idea is if we were gonna do anything, would be to put some of the lights either on a timer. So they would be on a set time and then they would go off.
Okay,
I mean, there is a possibility for motion detector on the barn lights, but again, in my experience, those always go on and off when you don't need them, not necessarily go on and off when you do need them.
well, when the animal walks by, they set them off.
I just, there are deer and animals that do walk through there, and I hate to have the thing going on and off at like 2 a.m. or.
Okay, so we'll eliminate the motion detectors. And we have this, I have the other description. I'm just gonna repeat that. The 6 10-foot. And it's gonna be soft lighting facing down. Okay. All right. Can we move on to signage? The town currently has a sign ordinance, so you'd have to comply with that.
Okay.
What was you looking for a sign? You can have a sign on the building, or would it be near the road, or?
The sign will be near the road. If you guys look at that sheet that you just got forwarded from Mo, one single sign that I'd like to put near the roadway.
Okay.
And it'll be pretty simple. It'll be basically just our logo and contact information.
Okay, and the sign dimensions will be about, they'll have to be within the town requirements.
Right, which I don't know what that is, but I will definitely conform to
Okay,
what that is.
okay, so signage will be within, yes, allowing a sign. And it'll be, within the town sign ordinance. I might have it here somewhere, but
Okay.
they're not huge.
Right.
Okay, so can't be a big billboard like that. I think it's more, I think the largest sign that we have in town is the town south, out front of the fire station at South Thomaston. That is kind of like the limit. I think that was discussed when we did that ordinance. So it's about that size, but we can get those numbers for you, or the code enforcement officer can get those numbers for you.
Wonderful.
All right. So okay. Let's move on to noise. Noise will not exceed 65 decibel to the nearest property line. And we're going to say a yes on that. Okay. Which is, I don't think you need a distance on that. Okay, there's not going to be any dust, emissions. You're on the property line, require resurface of the road, water. It's not going to be a gravel pit or, anything like that. Shouldn't be, that's not that type of operation. So I think we can go on applicable on that. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, odor, should be no odor. I'll go NA on that one. Vibrations. That has to do with the gravel pit, so I'm gonna just call that NA. That's for like vibrator shakers, things like that. Doesn't apply here. Any other nuisance conditions that the board can think of? Let me know. Any discussion on that?
Nope.
Okay.
We already discussed lighting, so that's the only one, but it's handled separately.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to take a vote on section D, number 7. And I need keep getting the word.
I move to
move to,
vote
yeah.
to accept 7D.
Okay, 7D as grass improvement. I'll just go down and review them real quick. Hours of operation, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Saturday. No restrictions on holidays. Parking be up to 85 cars. Grass, permeable surface. The lighting we discussed, the 6 10-foot soft light down facing poles, and then the noise, 65 decibels, not to exceed. Dust is a NA issue. Odors be an NA issue. Vibration will also be an NA issue.
Second.
Staff is 10.
And
Okay.
the one sign to comply with town
Sorry, the
regulations.
sign, yeah. Sign to comply with town. I have that on here. Sorry about that. Okay. We had a motion, you said?
Yep, so moved.
Gabe, okay. Second?
Second. This is
Ryan?
second.
Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Kathleen,
Aye.
Gabriel,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Herb, aye, 4-0. Okay. Okay. We're getting down here to the, I think we already discussed the vehicular pedestrian access, any conditional requirements. The operation will be limited to 8 a.m., 10 p.m.,
Yes,
and I guess 365 days that I'm looking at there.
please.
Okay. That yes. Okay. Safe access to the site, public will be restricted and controlled. I would say that's a yes.
Yes.
Okay, any discussion on that? Adequate capacity on other roads. I guess there's only one road there, right? Down to the property,
Yes.
and there was adequate capacity. So there's no other roads. I just say that would be probably NA, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, additional driveways. So there'll be one entrance and one exit to the,
Correct.
okay.
So what's the width of the driveway again, James, that you're going to install?
18 feet wide.
So can you
Okay.
just note that, Irv, that they're going to
Sure.
build an 18 foot wide
Okay, 18
drive?
feet wide drive.
The entrance is gonna be like a 25-foot fish mouth, like opening.
Okay,
So the
25-foot opening.
required is to do 22, but the excavating guy said he wanted to do 25, so I said that was fine.
Okay, so 18 foot wide drive surface and a 25-foot opening to 131.
Yeah.
Okay,
And yeah, okay. And that is going to be a perpendicular intersection, correct, James?
Yes.
Okay.
The excavation guy also proposed was to build that area and flatten it out at the top so people can, they won't be on an incline. And so they'll be able to kind of ease in, pulling in and out. So there'll be plenty of room. The other state requirement was that the first 18 feet of the road be paved in order to ensure people be on the pull out easily without, burning out or anything like that. So that's in the MDOT permit as well.
okay. Any further discussion on number 7, paragraph E? Can I have a motion to accept?
I'll move to accept it
Ryan?
with the condition that they comply with their MDOT permit.
Okay. I'll put that on there too.
Second that.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Kathleen,
Aye.
Gabriel,
Aye.
and Ryan,
Aye.
and Herb's aye. So that's 4-0. None opposed. Okay. Professional and safe operation consists with proposed use. I guess you have to have some kind of a function license for that? I'm not sure the town has those. Or any kind of a liquor license. I'm sure that would be,
So like liquor license and things like that would be on the occupant, which would be, so each
okay.
party would procure their liquor
If
license.
they're private parties, then they do their own, you know what I
So
mean?
our plan is to have an option of a bartending company that they could consult with or use. But again, that company would obtain they would either have their own license, they would obtain the license from the town again for each.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, I guess from my point of view, I'm okay with it as long, again, sounds familiar, but as long
I don't
as
know
you're
of any,
with
I
state-
don't know of any town restrictions. That's what I'm trying to,
Yeah, I mean, from a permitting standpoint, I'm fine with it as long as they're compliant with state statute. That's
Okay.
basically.
I think
Fine.
though, it does make sense. The next line coming up for fire department access, I think that it does make sense to
the chief will have to approve
invite
that.
the fire chief to review the road and the
Okay.
parking arrangement once it's underway at the very least.
Okay.
Just to make sure that he's down with it.
Right.
Yeah,
Normally they just need, I don't know, when I did mine down here, just need a place to make sure they can turn the trucks. And you know. what I
Yeah,
mean?
if they could just
Truck.
turn the trucks, get close enough to the building, that's pretty much it.
Okay,
And I'm sure we'll have exit signs in there for,
Yeah, and because it's public facility and it's a place of assembly, you probably will need to consult the state fire marshal on that, and there are codes you'll have to
okay.
follow. But that's outside of our purview at this time.
I'll just put downtown and
That's just
state.
good to know.
All right. So
yeah.
Brian will have to go down there at some point, and Mo, I'll leave that to you to direct him to the site to, once they get going, to see any concerns he has about his firefighting. And he'll have to comply with that, whatever the fire chief requests for that.
Who's the chief? Brian Calderwood's now chief.
Brian Calderwood, yes.
Went to high school with his brother, so.
Okay. But anyway, yeah, normally it's just they need to be able to turn a truck. So you might have an area where trucks are a little heavier than cars, where it would have to be supported, maybe a little thicker gravel or something like that.
And on the map, you see that there is a turnaround proposed at the
Okay,
end. So, and that was for both fire, but also for guests to be able to pull up, drop off their wife or their partner, so they don't have
Right.
to walk through the grass, or they can walk closer and have a shorter walk to the barn.
Great.
okay. Gabe, do you have a question?
Oh no, I just said that sounds good.
Okay. I'd like to
I
have a motion. Go ahead.
All I was gonna say is just reiterating what Gabe said, James, is that, again, just, I think it's outside of our purview with respect to state fire code, but you are gonna have a lot of people in a building. Please
Of course,
reach
yeah.
out and make sure that you're compliant with that, just, for good, in good terms, I guess.
I'm quite sure we have to have a state fire marshal approval anyway before he'll be compliant with that. I'm quite sure. So, yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, we don't want to, not going to cut any corners with that kind of stuff. So,
Great. Safety first is all.
of course.
Okay, so we'll have the fire chief will verify the site is adequate for his trucks and compliant with town and state codes and laws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept 7F with, and I'll just go over that, again, they have to have the licenses that are compliant and follow any town, state codes or laws. And fire department access will be verified by the fire chief of South Thomaston.
So moved. This is Ryan.
Ryan, okay, Ryan,
Second, Catherine.
okay, Catherine. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Catherine,
Aye.
aye. Gabriel, Gabe,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
and Irvin's gonna say aye. So that's 4-0. Okay. Okay, that's what, as far as Ryan's question earlier, the applicant will limit activity. Yes, no, and will comply with state provided guidance on erosion control, groundwater monitoring, fuel storage, and whatever it is, reclamation, whatever. That really doesn't apply. There's no be any fuel oil there as far as just except for your if you have a furnace there or something.
The only fuel will be for the furnace, and we're gonna do radiant heat, so.
Okay. So I'll just get the land out of it and say,
That's electric, right? Is radiant heat electric?
call that a yes.
What about the second?
Any further discussion from the board members or questions?
Nope.
Okay. Looking for a motion for a vote.
I move to vote on section G,
Okay, 7G.
7G.
Okay,
Second, Ryan.
Ryan. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Catherine,
Aye.
Gabe,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Irvin says aye, 4-0. Okay. The maintenance inspection of sewage facilities, I'll say a yes, because that'll be done by the plumbing inspector. Town, any discussion about that?
Nope.
Okay. I need a motion for a vote on that.
So moved.
Gabe, motion. Second. Catherine. Okay, any further discussion on the sewage inspection?
Is
Only thing, go ahead.
no also the plumbing inspector, or is that a different person?
That would be the CEO
Okay.
in this
All right.
town.
I had one just similar to the point we made about the state fire marshal. You've just noted that event center and a restroom will be fully handicap accessible. You'll have a requirement for the number of plumbing fixtures that need to be made accessible based on the ADA,
Yeah.
which is you'll just have to have that number of plumbing fixtures. It might be a restroom, it might be a restroom with several toilets. You just have to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not a town. That's outside of our jurisdiction. That's federal law. So
Yeah, no, we plan to abide by all that, so.
great.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept 7H?
So moved.
Catherine. Did I already do that? I think Gabe did it and then Catherine. Okay, there's no further discussion. Catherine,
Aye.
Gabe,
Aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
Arab's aye, 4-0 in favor. Okay, let's move on to section I. Applicant and agent will comply with federal and state requirements. We already listed that up above on F. So that will be a yes. Is there any other, maybe Mo do you have any other findings that you'd like to add into that?
Well, Mo, maybe you can help on this one, but what I think I understood with respect to potentially filling in wetland, whether it be with the septic or with the road, and James, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said something to the effect that it's small and won't require a DEP permit. I suspect that means permit by rule. I guess I'd just like to know that any excavation or filling is going to be compliant with the state, I guess DEP.
Yeah.
Again, not our jurisdiction really, but just and it says it implicitly by saying it's going to be compliant with federal and state regulation, but I do know there's some drainages out there in places that may or may not be wetlands, I know that you can fill up to like what 4,200 square feet or something like that under permit by rule for different uses. So maybe that anyway. I just want
Yeah,
to
I
make sure.
think that's a good condition to add, just because we know that the town shoreline zoning map doesn't show any wetlands or resource protection districts on your lot, but again, the DEP has different rules and they have different definitions. So if you are hoping to fill these things, just
Yeah, no, Mo can correct me if
let
I'm
them
wrong.
know.
Under the permit by rule, it was a certain, if you're under a certain amount of square feet, you did not
Yeah.
have the rule, and really, it's gonna be that 18 to 20 feet of road that crosses that one area, but again, that's,
Yeah. I mean, I would be very surprised if there's any sort of issue. I've seen much bigger jobs with like than this, I guess. And just so I'm clear, like we're clear, I guess, for your understanding is that as long as you're outside of that 250 feet, which we've already discussed, that's the only zoning implication with respect to, the river that's there. And that's our domain. But the DEP's domain is any actual wetlands, and that may or may not be on our shoreland map. So just, I guess, I'm not worried about it, but at the same time, we need to make sure you're compliant.
In regards to the septic system being placed in any area, I will be the plumbing inspector on site. And if there's any implications or things that I don't like with runoff, and I might give recommendations for different water remediation based off of the design and my site visits in order for them to pass both of my inspections. And in regards to the wetland area, there is no documented wetland area where they're putting that through. And I think that they're being overcautious by what I read up on for the driveway and the entrance. Adding the geotextile fabric and adding the extra steps is actually going above and beyond. And I think they're already working towards the remediation of that wet spot.
Okay. I'm happy with that then.
thanks, Mo.
Thank you.
Okay, I made a few notes here. We'd say yes, and then they must comply with, DEP permit by rule for crossing any possible wetlands. And must comply with CEO site condition inspection and review. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
made
no,
that in
yeah.
the comments here. Okay,
So I move to accept it on those terms.
okay, Ryan,
Second,
okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Kathleen,
Aye.
Gabe,
aye.
Ryan,
Aye.
and Herb's gonna say aye, so it's 4-0 for that. Go down to the last one here. Okay, based on the above findings with the specifications condition, the applicant for approval under the land use ordinance was approved or denied, so I'll mark that approved for now. On the bottom it said, note the town of South Thompson ordinance section 4, paragraph B5, permit should not be denied on the proposed use if the not proposed use is not found to be in conformance with the provision of this ordinance. So any further discussion on, what's that one number? I guess that doesn't have a number. It's on the decision. Any discussion on that last one?
No.
Nope.
Okay, can I have a
Motion to vote on the
motion, yeah. Right. Kathleen?
Aye.
Okay, no, I gotta get it to you. Who would second?
I'll second the motion
Okay.
to the application.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none. Kathleen,
Aye.
Gabe,
Aye.
and Ryan,
Aye.
and Herb's gonna be aye, so it's 4-0. So
Congratulations.
congratulations. I think that's
Congratulations.
what we need to do here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll get this kind of made a little neater. And get it
I
back to the
just would
CEO.
like to ask, like you mentioned, you are going to another provider for the barn structure. Did you have like some plans or drawings that you could show us on what it would look like?
Yeah, you should have got those too. We did send those with the whole packet.
Uh,
You can
Is
show-
it the Jamaica barn or is it a different?
It's a new one.
So Jamaica Barn, I guess there was confusion on both our parts. We thought they were going to provide us with not only an engineering stamp, but also plans, and they basically would put it up for us. And they basically said, no, we don't do that. So we went with a guy from Norway, Maine. His name is Rusty Partridge. He used to be part of Maine Barn Company, and he'll normally he'll do the design. He'll also raise the barn, and he has an engineer he works with to get the engineering stamp. So we'll get that approved. So with the Jamaica Cottage, there's basically going to be left to us to try to fit it together, get the engineering stamp, and then raise it. So we kind of
Yeah.
we
I didn't get the that documentation. Do you have that to just forward around, Mo, for our information?
Yeah, sorry about that. We did send all the pictures of the.
I'm working right now. It's trying to send. It's just there's a lot of files.
No worries, thanks.
I received it. Thank
Mo,
you.
Just an administrative request, Mo. Can you just, I know there's a lot of documents and normally, we'd see all these in a room together. Can you just make sure that the application file, when it gets, filed in its final form, has all the supporting information in the file? Hard copy?
Yes, all of this has already been printed out and has been put in their application file.
Okay. I kept some notes here if you need them, Mo, or I can do this for you either way. No, I think you have it in front of you. I'll call you and compare notes at some point. Be quite easier, I think. Is there any other business for tonight? Is there other applications or? Then we should probably schedule our next meeting if we need to have one. For
Yeah,
January. Go ahead.
Two things, just not tonight's business, but sometime in the first quarter. I did follow up and look at the bylaws that we have in place and the original town warrant to form the planning board, and I've got
I can give you an update on that. There's going to we can send this to you. The Ordinance Review Committee has compiled what we believe to be the active, current, and most reasonable bylaws and establishment under the select board instructed us to propose a new planning board establishment ordinance that was coordinated with, first of all, what the planning board does now, and second of all, like just to resolve conflicts between those documents. So we have a new version that I'd be happy to share with the board if I'm cleared to do so by the select board and the remainder of the committee.
Well, is this the one that there was the bylaws approved July 21st, 2016? Or is it something new?
That was the bylaws, but then there was a couple of older documents that sort of conflicted with each other and had some archaic language and had the wrong quorum numbers, and there was a bunch of it was a bit messy. So we're working on cleaning that up in the Ordinance Review Committee.
All right.
So you are ahead of me, Gabe. Basically, that was what I was going to say. Is we as a board, I don't know if it needs to go to the town meeting, but at least we as a board need to clear up our own bylaws. And I think that we have the authority to do so. So we need to do that sometime. Hopefully, I would challenge all of us to get that done in the first quarter of next year if we can.
Okay, I can. Gabe can. Who is the chairman of that?
It's Jeff Northgraves.
So I can either call him and go and find out
Yeah,
exactly
maybe
what
I
you
think
guys are
it's
doing.
the best procedure for you to get in touch with Jeff or
All
just
right, sure.
both the chairs.
Yeah, because he's got any questions, and I'm sure it's not a lot of big changes, but like you say, Brian says we should kind of have a hand in it as well.
Yeah, of course.
The next, I think we need to schedule another planning board meeting, whether we have it or not. If we need to have one, if something comes up, even this, for January 15th. And does everybody like the 6 o'clock rather than the 7 o'clock timeframe?
6 o'clock is a lot easier for me than like 5 or 5:30.
Okay, well, let's do 6 o'clock tentatively right now for January 15th.
The
Will be next
15th is a Friday. I think the 14th is the
14th,
Thursday.
I'm looking at the calendar, excuse me. Oh, you're right, the 14th, sorry.
No worries. I had to look it up and I just
Okay.
did. So
Yeah. The
That works for
January-
me.
I meant the 14th. No, that'd be the 2nd, so that'd be the 21st. If we, yeah, the 14th, I'd rather do it then. If we can, if we have anything. If there's nothing, we can always move it to the 21st if something comes up after that. It gives
works
us
for
a
me.
window. All right, let's shoot for that. That's why I was looking at the 15th. I saw the 3. That was the third week.
Catherine, is the 14th at 6 okay for you? Or did we lose her?
No, I'm here. I just, you don't have the video. I was showing okay for the 14th at 6 p.m.
Okay,
But I mean, I just want to verify that typically we are meeting on the third Thursday of the month.
we can make it the 21st.
I'm fine for the 14th now, but like once the Historical Society can meet again, I would definitely not be available on that second Thursday.
No, we'll leave it on the 3rd. I can even do it now if that's okay with
Well,
everybody.
We're
The
all fine.
bylaw, yeah.
What?
I was just gonna say that the bylaws, that's one of the things I think was conflicting, actually, but when we get that fixed, we should have clarity on our regular meeting time.
Yep.
Okay. I guess it doesn't matter to me. We if you want to make it the 21st, that's okay.
Okay, let's vote on the 14th. Aye.
Okay.
Aye on the 14th.
14th. We'll do the 14th. And the backup date will be the 21st.
Excellent.
If we need
Sounds
it,
good.
meeting.
Okay.
I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy
Yes.
New Year.
And congratulations to the Hendricks again.
Congratulations to the
Oh.
Hendricks.
Very
Thank
much.
you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody.
You too. Bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Night.
I need a motion for an adjournment.
So
Oh.
moved.
You're gonna have to stay
Second.
on all night.
That's it. That's procedures. Catherine, I'll use you. Ryan,
Aye.
second. All in favor?
Bye.
Catherine?
Aye.
Bye.
Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Seven-
Thanks, everybody.
7:46.
Thanks, Mo.